was 10 years old when my cousin Carla slid a folded paper under the table. It was on a Sunday. Lunch at my paternal grandmother's house. Everyone was there. My uncles, my cousins, my grandmother serving rice as if the world were perfect. High laughs. Talk about football. My father telling a joke and everyone clapping. Carla was sitting next to me. She was 15. It was quiet. Always has been. She leaned her knee in mine, slowly, pushed the paper with his fingertips. He looked at me with those back eyes, almost apologizing. I took the ticket without understanding. I opened under the table. 3 words written to the blue pen. Trembled. Call 190. My hands jammed. I looked at Carla. She looked away. I looked at the roll again. Then I looked at my mother. She was sitting on the other end of the table. Too quiet. The full plate. Untouched. The pale face. Without color. As if you had seen a ghost. And while everyone laughed, while my father joked about the neighbor, and my uncles hit the table from laughing, I perceived. The tragedy was happening before my eyes. No one seemed to notice. But I knew. My mother was called Helena, 32 years, mathematics teacher in a public school. I woke up at 5 in the morning every day. I made coffee, got my backpack, combed my hair. She was beautiful. Brown eyes, long hair that she held in a bun every day. Easy smile, of those who illuminated the whole environment. But in recent months, that smile had gone. I remember the time when my mother was different. When I was smaller, she sang while cooking. I danced with me in the room. I took me to the park every Saturday. She taught me mathematics at the kitchen table, with infinite patience. Even when I didn't understand, she explained again, and again, and again. You're smart, my love. You just need time, she said, running her hand on my hair. But that was before. First of all, change. My father, Rogerio, worked in a mechanical workshop. It was the kind of man that everyone found funny, kind, popular. On the street, everyone greeted him. The neighbors stopped to talk. The friends called all the time. He was the guy who helped everyone. That lent money, that hitchhiking. Your father is an angel, Dona Celia da Esquina lived telling my mother. Lucky, huh, Helena. Worker man, good father, the teacher at school commented. I saw my mother smile, but it was a smile that didn't come in the eyes. Why indoors? Indoors. He was someone else. I was a child, but I was not blind. I saw the doors knocking, the low discussions, late at night, when they thought I was sleeping, but I wasn't. I was awake, listening. You are no good, Helena. I work, Rogerio. I take care of the house. Our daughter. Work. Is it giving up? This is not work. Who supports this house is me. My salary helps. You know that. Help? Your salary does not pay even the electricity bill. I heard my mother cry softly. I heard my father open another beer. And the next day, everything was back to normal. He went out to work. He greeted the neighbors. Ria, loudly. And my mother? My mother put base on the arm bruise. He hid the purple mark on the wrist with a bracelet. He held his hair in a way that covered his neck. I saw everything, but I didn't know what to do. I was 10 years old. That Sunday, it all started normal. Or almost. We arrived at my grandmother's house around noon. My grandmother, Dona Irasi, was a small woman, but with a huge presence. Loud voice, strong opinion about everything. She loved my father. My son is a real man, she lived saying. Not that even these modern husbands who let women send. She was looking at my mother when she said that. My mother lowered her head. My grandmother's house was small, but always crowded on Sundays. There was a large table in the room, where everyone was squeezed. The kitchen smelled the spice. The backyard was full of plants and a guava foot that I loved to go up. That day, my grandmother had made feijoada. The house smelled the blonde and bacon since the entrance. Everyone was coming along. Uncle Marcelo and Aunt Jusara, who lived to 2 streets from there. Uncle Paulinho, the youngest, and his wife Kelly, who was pregnant. My cousins, Lucas, 12, who only talked about video games. Matthias, from 7, which ran all the time. And Carla. Carla was her Uncle Marcelo's daughter. 15 years. Short hair, large glasses, loose clothes. She was quiet. Always has been. It was in the corner, reading or stirring on the cell phone. We had a strange connection. She was 5 years older but always treated me as the same. I lent me books. I explained to me things I didn't understand at school. I liked her, but that day, she was different. Even more quiet. She barely looked at anyone. He kept moving his hands nervously. I sat next to her, as always. My mother sat close to the kitchen, away from everyone. She wore a long-sleeved blouse, even though it was hot. I knew why. She barely spoke. I just served, cleaned, got up to get something. My grandmother kept giving orders. Helena, get more flour. Helena, bring a napkin. Helena, heat the rice. My mother obeyed everything. Fast. No complaining. Helena, sit down, my grandmother said suddenly, but without affection. It was an order disguised as an invitation. My mother sat down. My father was in the center of the table, as always. Button-down shirt open at the chest, beer in hand. laughing out loud, filling the room with his voice. He was the center of everything. It always was. "Rogerio, tell me about the parrot," Uncle Marcelo asked, already laughing before the joke even started. And my father told me. He made voices. He gestured. Everyone laughed. They clapped. My grandmother smiled proudly, as if this were the greatest achievement in the world. "My son is so funny," she said, wiping away tears from laughing so hard. I looked at my mother. She was picking at her food, pushing the rice grains from one side to the other. The fork shook in her hand. Suddenly my father stopped laughing. He looked at her. The entire environment changed, as if someone had turned off the light. "Helena," she looked up, startled. "Why aren't you eating?" I'm not hungry." "Aren't you hungry?" he repeated loudly. Everyone stopped talking. The sound of cutlery hitting plates disappeared. "My mom cooked all day, and you're not hungry?" "Rogerio, it's not that," she tried to explain, her voice low. "It's disrespectful, Helena." Silence. My grandmother cleared her throat, uncomfortable. "Leave the girl alone, Rogerio. She must be tired," she said, but without really defending. It was more like a suggestion. "Tired?" My father laughed, but it was a dry, dull laugh. "Tired of what? Staying at home all day?" "I work, Rogerio," my mother whispered. "It works?" He raised his eyebrow. "You call that work?" Uncle Marcelo coughed. Uncle Paulinho looked at the plate. Aunt Husara touched her hair, uncomfortable. Nobody said anything. Nobody defended my mother. My mother lowered her head. I felt my stomach drop. I felt angry. I wanted to scream. I wanted to get up and say something, but I couldn't. I was 10 years old, and everyone there was an adult. Uncle Marcelo finally changed the subject. He started talking about football, from a game that was going to take place on Wednesday, and everyone went back to eating, talking, as if nothing had happened, as if my mother hadn't just been humiliated in front of everyone. But I saw it. I saw my mother swallowing her tears. I saw her hand shaking holding the fork. I saw her putting food in her mouth even though she couldn't swallow it properly. And that's when Carla put her knee on me. He pushed the paper away. I got it. I opened it. "Call 911. My heart raced. I looked at Carla. She looked at me, just for a second, and in that look, I saw everything. Fear, urgency, despair. She knew something. After lunch, while the adults drank coffee on the porch and smoked, I went to the backyard with my cousins. Lucas was looking at his cell phone. Matthias was running after a ball. I pretended I was joking, but my head was far away. I looked at the note in the pocket of my shorts. "Call 911. Why? What did Carla know? I looked inside the house. Carla wasn't in the yard. It was inside. I pretended I was going to get water and went in. Carla was in the kitchen, with my mother. My mother was washing dishes, hands immersed in the foam, shoulders tense. Carla was next to her, whispering something. My mother shook her head, quickly, nervously, as if to say, "No, don't say that here." When they saw me, they both stopped immediately. Carla was paralyzed. My mother tried to smile. "Go play, daughter," she said, but the smile didn't reach her eyes. I left, but I didn't go to the backyard. I stood near the kitchen door, leaning against the wall, listening. "Auntie, you need to leave this house," Carla said, softly but firmly. "Carla, for God's sake, don't bring your grandmother into this," my mother replied, desperate. "Auntie, he's going to kill you." My heart stopped. I held my breath. "Carla, shut up," my mother whispered, almost crying. "If anyone hears, no one is going to do anything, Aunt. Everyone knows and no one does anything." Silence. I heard the sound of water running. I heard my mother sobbing softly. "I can't leave. He said if I leave, he'll take my daughter away from me." "He's lying, Aunt. He has a lawyer. He has money saved. He said he's going to prove that I'm crazy, that I abandoned the house, that I'm not fit to be a mother. And everyone here will side with him. Aunt, you saw it, Carla. You saw what happened today. Nobody said anything. Nobody ever says anything." Carla was silent for a while. Then he said, "That's why I wrote that note. You really need help. You need to record it. You need to have proof. If you don't do anything, he's going to really hurt you. Or worse." Minha mother didn't respond. I backed away from the door, legs shaking. My heart was beating so hard it hurt in my chest. That's when I understood. The note was no joke. It wasn't a teenager's exaggeration. It was a cry for help. And my mother was in danger. I went back to the backyard. I sat under the guava tree. I stared at the floor, trying to process everything. Matthias ran past, shouting. Lucas laughed at something on his cell phone. And there I was, holding a secret too heavy for a 10-year-old child to carry. That night, on the way home, the silence inside the car was suffocating. My father drove, hand on the steering wheel, stare at the road, locked jaw. My mother looked out the window, hands in your lap, intertwined, squeezing each other. I was in the back seat, looking at the two, feeling the weight in the air. Something had happened. I didn't know what, but it had. The note was in the pocket of my shorts. I squeezed him with my hand, hidden. "Call 911. When we got home, my father locked the door. I didn't say anything. It just locked. And he looked at my mother. The way he looked was different. It wasn't anger. It was something colder, more calculated. "Did you say anything to Carla?" he asked slowly. My mother froze. "No, don't lie to me, Helena. I didn't say anything, Rogerio." He took a step forward. My mother took a step back. I stood in the hallway, holding my backpack. "Go to your room," my father said without looking at me. I didn't move. "Go to your room," he repeated, each word heavy. My mother looked at me, eyes full of tears. "Go, daughter. It's okay." But it wasn't. I knew I wasn't. I went to the room. I closed the door, but I didn't lock it. I leaned against her, listening. "What did you say to her?" my father asked, his voice controlled but full of anger. "I didn't say anything, Rogerio. I swear." "Then why was she hanging around you all the time? Why was she talking to you in the kitchen?" She just asked if I was okay." "And what did you say?" "That I was fine. That's all." Silence. And then I heard it, the sound of something hitting, a muffled scream, and the sound of something falling to the floor. I opened the bedroom door, slowly. I saw my mother on the floor, her hand on her face, my father standing over her, and that's when I saw it. In his eyes. It wasn't anger. It was something worse. It was cold, as if he had already decided what he was going to do. And I knew, at that moment, that my cousin was right. He was going to kill my mother. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in bed, looking at the ceiling, listening to the sounds of the house, the heavy silence, the creaking of my parents' bedroom door, the sound of the tap opening in the bathroom, my mother crying softly. I clutched the note in my hands. Needed, sweaty. Call 911. But how? I was a child. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know if anyone would believe me. And most importantly, I was afraid. Scared of what would happen if I called. Scared of what my father was going to do. The next morning, everything was back to normal, or pretended to come back. My father drank coffee, read the newspaper, went to work whistling. He kissed my forehead on the way out. "Good morning, princess." As if nothing had happened. As if he hadn't thrown my mother to the ground the night before. My mother was in the kitchen, making pancakes. She wore a high-necked blouse even in the heat, hair loose, covering the face. When she turned around, I saw it, the black eye. She had tried to hide it with makeup, but it hadn't worked. The skin around it was swollen, purple, yellowed at the edges. "Good morning, my love," she said, trying to smile. I couldn't respond. I just looked at her, and she noticed. He realized that I had seen it, that I knew. She looked away. He stirred the pan again. "Eat. It will get cold." I sat down. I picked up the fork, but I couldn't eat it. "Mother, eat, daughter." "Mom, what happened to your eye?" She stopped stirring the pot. He had his back to me, shoulders tense. I knocked on the closet door. It was by accident. "Mother, eat." And I ate, because I didn't know what else to do. That week I started paying attention, in everything, in details that previously went unnoticed. I realized that my mother was no longer sleeping. She stayed up late, sitting in the living room, in the dark. I could see through the crack in my bedroom door. She stood there looking at the wall, her hands shaking. Sometimes she would pick up the phone. He dialed a number, I expected, and he hung up before anyone answered. I noticed that she had lost weight. The clothes were loose on her body, the thinnest face, the sunken eyes. She didn't eat anymore. He just pushed the food on the plate. I pretended I had eaten when my father asked. I realized she was hiding things, folders, papers, documents that she kept at the back of the closet, under the towels. I saw her hide money, small notes, inside an old book that no one read, and I realized that she was planning something. But what, UA? On Thursday, my mother had to go to school to get my newsletter. I had taken a low science grade. When we got home, my father was waiting. He was sitting on the couch, crossed arms. "Look hard. 4 in sciences," he said, looking at me. I lowered my head. I didn't understand the story. "Don't you understand?" He raised his voice. "Or did you not study?" "I studied." "Studied? So why did you take 4? I didn't answer. He looked at my mother. "This is your fault." My mother blinked, confused. You are a teacher, Helena. Mathematics teacher. And your daughter is taking low grade?" "Rogerio, she took 4 in science, not math." "It doesn't matter," he shouted. "Don't you teach her anything? Do you stay all day at home and can't even help your own daughter?" "I work, Rogerio. I don't stay home all day." "It works?" He laughed, dry. "Do you call it work?" My mother squeezed her lips, swallowed the cry. "You are a failure, Helena, as a mother, as a wife, as a woman." And he left, knocked the door. I stayed there, standing, looking at my mother. She sat on the couch. He put his face in his hands and cried. For the first time in my life, I saw my mother break in front of me. I sat on her side. I held her hand. "Mom, don't cry, please." But she didn't stop. "Sorry, daughter. Sorry for everything. You are not to blame for anything, mother. I have. It does not have." She hugged me, strong, as if saying goodbye. And at that moment, I decided I was going to find out what was going on. I was going to help my mother. even if I didn't know how. On Friday, after class, I pretended that I had forgotten a notebook at school. I ran back, but I didn't go to school. I went to Carla's house. I played the bell. Aunt Jusara opened. "Hi, Aunt." "Hi, my love. Carla is in the room." I climbed the stairs. I knocked on the door. "Enter." Carla was sitting on the bed, reading. When she saw me, she closed the book. Hey. I closed the door behind me. I stayed there, stopped, not knowing how to start. Carla waited. "Why did you give me that note?" I asked finally. She sighed. "Sit." I sat on the edge of the bed. Carla looked at the door, as if she was afraid of listening. Then he looked at me. "Do you know what's going on with your mother?" I know my dad hits her." Carla closed her eyes. "It's more than that. Like this." She took the cell phone. It moved for a few seconds. Then he showed me the screen. It was a conversation, a group of WhatsApp. I read, and my stomach rolled. It was a family group. My grandmother, my uncles, my father, and they were talking about my mother. "She's going crazy," my father had written. "Paranoid," Aunt Chusara answered. "It has always been problematic," my grandmother said. "I think she needs treatment," Uncle Marcelo suggested. "I thought about it," my father replied. "But she doesn't accept it. Inner she," my grandmother said. I stopped reading. I looked at Carla, shocked. Do they want to intern my mother?" Carla nodded. "Your father has been planning this for a long time. He wants to prove that she is crazy, that she is not able to take care of you. So he gets the guard, and with everything, the house, the money." I felt the tears run down. "But she's not crazy." "I know, but he's making everyone believe it's isolating her. It's making her doubt herself. She's taking everything from her slowly." "Why?" Carla hesitated. "There's another woman." My world collapsed. "What? Your father has another woman?" "It's been months. She's friends with your grandmother. She works with her in the church." I couldn't speak. I couldn't even breathe. "He wants to get rid of his mother, but he doesn't want to pay pension. He doesn't want to share anything, so he's making everyone believe she's crazy. So when he asks the divorce, he takes everything, and still gets a victim." I trembled. "How do you know that?" "I heard your father talking to my father. They thought I was sleeping, but I was awake. I heard everything." She looked at me seriously. "That's why I gave you that note. Your mother needs to get out of this house, before it's too late." "Too late how?" Carla didn't answer, but I understood. I came home with my legs. I went slowly. My mother was in the kitchen making dinner. My father had not arrived yet. "Mother," she turned. "Hi, daughter. Where were you?" I went to Carla's house." She frowned. "Without warning?" "Sorry. I needed to talk to her." But my mother looked at me suspiciously. "What?" I took a deep breath. "Mom, I know." "Do you know what?" "I know Dad has another woman. I know he wants to hospitalize you. I know everything." My mother was pale. He let out the spoon that was holding. She fell to the floor with a metallic noise. "Who told you that?" "Carla." She put her hand on her forehead. Staggered. I held her. "Mom, we need to leave." "I can't." "Maybe yes." "No, daughter. I can't. He'll find me. He'll get you out of me. He's bad. And if we stay, it will be worse." She looked at me, the eyes full of tears. "You don't understand. He has power. He has money. He has the whole family on his side. I have nothing. I have no one. It has me." She hugged me, strong, and cried on my shoulder. That night I didn't sleep again. I wondered, planning. I needed proof that my father had another woman, proof that he planned it all. But how? The next morning, Saturday, my father left early. He said he was going to work, but I knew it was a lie. He did not work on Saturdays. I waited for him to leave. I waited my mother to go to the backyard, and I entered their room. My heart beat so hard that I thought I was going to faint. I opened the drawer of his bedside table. Remedies, papers, pens. I opened the second drawer, and I found it. An envelope. Inside it, photos. Photos of my father with another woman. Embraced, kissing, smiling, and there was more. Papers, documents, an apartment contract, in his name and hers, and a letter, handwritten, of my grandmother. "Son, you are doing the right thing. Helena has never been good enough for you. This new woman will make you happy. Don't worry about your daughter. We take care of her. And when everything is over, Helena will be far away." I trembled. I wanted to vomit. I took the cell phone. I photographed everything. Each photo, each paper, each word. I put everything back in place just as it was. I closed the drawer. I left the room, and that's when I heard the front door opening. My father. He had come back. I froze in the hallway. He entered. I saw there, stopping, the cell phone in hand. And in his eyes, I saw. He knew. He knew I had discovered. My father looked at me. I looked at him. The cell phone burned in my hand. "What are you doing there?" he asked slowly. "Nothing. I went to the bathroom." "With the cell phone in hand?" I was playing." He took a step toward me. "Give me the cell phone." "Why?" "Give me." I squeezed the phone against my chest. "No." He stopped. He looked at me, surprised. No one said no to him. Nobody. "How is it?" I said no. He took another step. Closer. "Are you disrespecting me?" "No." "Then give me the cell phone." I took a step back. He advanced. And that's when my mother appeared. "Rogerio, what's going on?" He turned. Your daughter is lacking respect. She's a child who does not obey, he cut. My mother looked at me, then for him. What do you want from her? The cell phone. Why? Because I want to. My mother took a deep breath. Rogerio leaves her. He leaves? He laughed. Are you telling me what to do now? It's not that. I just think, you don't think, Helena. That's the truth. He looked at me again. Give me the cell phone. Now. I looked at my mother. She noticed. He realized he had something on that cell phone. Something important. Go to her room, daughter, she said firmly. Helena, go, she repeated, looking at me. I ran to the room. I locked the door. I sat on the floor, my heart fired. And I heard my father screaming. I heard my mother responding. I heard things breaking. I opened the cell phone. I sent all the photos to Carla by WhatsApp. I deleted from the gallery. I deleted from WhatsApp. I deleted everything. And I prayed that no one discovered. Half an hour later, the house was silent. I leaned the ear at the door. Nothing. I opened slowly. I left. The room was destroyed. Broken vase. Pillows on the floor. The table turned. My mother was sitting on the couch, the face between the hands. My father was no longer there. Mother? She lifted her face. It was swollen. Red. The back eyes. Come here. I sat on her side. She hugged me. Did you photograph anything? She asked softly. I nodded. Did you send it to someone? To Carla. She closed her eyes. Relieved. Good girl. Mom, we need to leave. Today. Not yet. Why? Because he will look for me. And when he finds me, it will be worse. So what do? She looked at me. We expect the right moment. But the right moment never arrived. On Monday, when I came back from school, there were people at my house. A lot of people. My grandmother, my uncles, Aunt Jusara, to the church priest. Everyone sitting in the room, looking at my mother. She was standing, leaning against the wall, her arms crossed. What's going on? I asked. No one answered. My father got up. Go to your room. But, fourth, now. I went. But I didn't close the door. I left ajar, and I heard, Helena, we're worried about you. My grandmother started. Worried? My mother repeated, disbelieving. You haven't slept. You haven't eaten. You're losing weight. It's pale. Okay. Different. I'm fine. It's not, Uncle Marcelo said. You're not well, Helena. You're getting paranoid, Aunt Jusara added. Suspicious. You're creating things on your head. My mother laughed, but it was a sad laugh. Creating things? It's, my father said. You're inventing a lie about me, about us, our daughter against me. I'm not doing any of that. Yes, my grandmother said firmly. Rogerio told me everything. The accusations, the lies. What lies? That he beats you, that he has another woman, that we want to hospitalize you. Silence. My mother looked around, for each one of them. That's not a lie. Yeah, my dad said, raising his voice. It's all a lie, Helena, and you know it. I know, she shouted back. I know you beat me. I know you have another woman. I know you are planning everything behind my back. You're delusional, my grandmother said. I'm not. Okay, the priest said for the first time. Calm voice, condescending. Daughter, I've known you for years. I know you're a good woman, but lately, you haven't been yourself, because I'm being destroyed. No one is destroying you, Aunt Jusara said. You're destroying yourself alone. My mother put her hands over her face. I saw her tremble. We just want to help you, my father said, his voice soft now, false. We want you to improve, for you to go back to being the Helena you used to be. I'll only get better if I get out of this house. To go out? My grandmother stood up, furious. Do you want to abandon your husband, your daughter? I don't want to abandon anyone. I want to protect myself. Protect yourself from what? Uncle Marcelo asked. From the man who supports you, who gives you everything. He gives me nothing but pain. Helena, that's enough, my father said, impatiently. You're sick. You need treatment. I'm not sick. Okay, he insisted. And we've already made an appointment with a psychiatrist. My mother froze. A psychiatrist? It's for your own good. You want to commit me. No one talked about hospitalizing, my grandmother said. We just want you to be evaluated. You're not taking me anywhere. Come on, my father said firmly. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. I am not going. Go. I am not going. Helena, the priest stood up. If you don't do it for good, you'll have to do it for evil. This is for your sake, and for your daughter's sake. My mother looked at my bedroom door. Our eyes met, and she understood. I had heard everything. That night, after everyone left, my mother came into my room. She locked the door. He sat on my bed. We need to leave. Today. Where to? I don't know yet, but we can't stay. What about Daddy? Your father will try to stop me. He'll try to take me tomorrow. And if I go with him, I won't come back. Like this? She took a deep breath. They're going to admit me. For real. They're going to say I'm crazy. That I'm dangerous. And they're going to take you away from me. They won't. Go, she said, holding my hands. But I won't let you. What are we going to do? I'm leaving here, at dawn, and you're going with me. What if Dad notices? He won't. He took sleeping pills. I put it in his beer. I widened my eyes. I did what I needed to do. She got up. Pack a backpack. Just the essentials. Clothes, documents, your cell phone. It doesn't make any noise. I nodded. She left. I stood there, shaking. This was real. We were going to run away. At dawn, my mother woke me up. 3 a.m. She had a small suitcase. Me with my backpack. He comes. We left slowly, foot to toe. We passed through the room. My father was lying on the couch, sleeping soundly. My mother locked him out. He's going to wake up, and he won't be able to get out, she whispered. That gives us time. We left the house. The street was dark, silent. It was cold. Where are we going? To the bus station. We're going to catch a bus. Where to? Anywhere far from here. We walked quickly, but when we turned the corner, I saw it. A car. Stopped, with the headlights on, and inside it, my grandmother. She got out of the car. He looked at my mother. I knew you were going to try to escape. My mother pulled me behind her. Get out of the way, Iracey. No, I'm leaving, with my daughter, and you won't stop me. I will, my grandmother said, because you're not okay. Because you're putting this child in danger. The only danger here is your son. My grandmother stepped forward. You're not going anywhere. My mother held my hand, strong, and ran. I ran along. My grandmother screamed, Rogerio, Rogerio, she's running away. We run fast. We turned another corner. We entered an alley. My mother pulled me behind a trash container. Be quiet. I could barely breathe. I heard footsteps, voices. My father. Helena, Helena, come back here. My grandmother. She can't have gone far. Uncle Marcelo. I'll look on the other side. They scattered. We stayed there, hidden, for more than an hour, until the sun starts to rise, until the sounds disappear. My mother looked at me. We won't be able to leave through the bus station. They will be there. So what do we do? She thought. We're going to the police station. Station? I'm going to record everything. I'm going to ask for a protective order. I'm going to make them pay. Yeah, what if they don't believe you? She took her cell phone out of her pocket. Carla sent me the photos. I have proof. Us left the alley. We walked to the police station. It was far, more than 2 hours on foot. When we arrived, the sun was already up. My mother came in. I joined. The delegate was a woman of about 40 years old. Tired look, but kind. What happened? I need to file a report. Domestic violence, an attempted false imprisonment. The deputy took a pen. Sit. My mother sat down, and he told everything. Every detail, every bruise, every threat. Showed the photos. The delegate listened. He would be. Do you want a protective order? I want. I'll issue it now. But you need to know that this won't be easy. He'll try to reverse it. He'll hire a lawyer. He'll try to prove that you're lying. I know. Do you have somewhere to stay? My mother hesitated. Not yet. The delegate wrote something on a piece of paper. Here, it's the address of a shelter. For women in situations of violence. You and your daughter can stay there until you get organized. My mother took the paper. Thanks. We left the police station. I held my mother's hand. We did it, Mom. She looked at me, but he didn't smile, because she knew. That was just the beginning. 2 days later, my father showed up, in the shelter. I don't know how he found out where we were, but he found out. I saw it through the window. He was outside, with my grandmother, with Uncle Marcelo, and with a man in a suit, a lawyer, and I knew. The war had begun. The lawyer knocked on the shelter door. The coordinator, Dona Marta, answered. Good morning. We're here for Helena Ferreira. Mrs. Helena is sheltering here, yes, but you can't enter. I'm her lawyer, the man said, showing a wallet. Dr. Antonio Vieira. I represent the husband. Then you definitely cannot enter. My father stepped forward. I just want to talk to my wife. 5 minutes. It won't happen. Dona Marta crossed her arms. I have a right. You have a protective order against you. You can't come within 200 meters of it. This is absurd. That's the law. My grandmother butted in. We just want to know about our granddaughter. Is she okay? Is she eating? Is she sleeping? The child is safe and well cared for. Safe? My grandmother almost screamed. She's being kidnapped by her own mother. It's not kidnapping when the mother has custody. She doesn't, the lawyer interjected. Still, but there will be. We are filing a request for provisional custody, alleging abandonment of home and coercion of a minor. Dona Marta was unfazed. Do what you need to do. But here, you don't go in. And he closed the door. I was behind her, hidden, seeing everything through the crack. I saw my father punching the door. I saw my grandmother crying. I saw the lawyer writing something down on a piece of paper, and I felt scared, very scared. My mother was in the room we shared with 3 other women. She was sitting on the bed, looking at the window. When I entered, she turned around. They left? They were, but they said they're going to ask for custody of you. She closed her eyes. I knew. Mom, can they do this? You can try. What if they do? She pulled me close. He hugged me. They won't make it. I won't let them. But her voice was shaking. That afternoon, Dona Marta called my mother to talk. Helena, you need a lawyer. A good one. I don't have the money for that. I know a lawyer. Dr. Beatriz. She takes cases like this. Pro bono, when needed. Pro bono? For free. She believes in justice. My mother sighed, relieved. You can make an appointment, please. 2 days later, we met Dr. Beatrice. She was a black woman, tall, with curly hair tied into a bun, prescription glasses, serious manner, but kind look. She sat with my mother in a small room. I stayed together. "Tell me everything," she said, opening a notebook. And my mother told me, from the beginning, from the first time he hit, from the first threat, since when he started destroying her from the inside. Dr. Beatrice listened. I wrote it down. He asked questions. "Do you have proof?" "I have photos. Of the marks. Of the bruises. Messages?" "No. He never wrote anything. He always spoke in person." "Witnesses?" My mother hesitated. "My niece, Carla. She saw, she heard. Is she willing to testify?" "I don't know. Her family is on his side," Dr. Beatrice thought. "What about the other woman? Do you have proof of that?" "I have. Photos. Documents. Everything." She smiled for the first time. "So we have a case." In the following days, Dr. Beatrice worked quickly. She put it all together. Photos. Documents. Medical reports on the bruises that my mother had registered at the health center months ago, but had never reported. She got the record of calls that my mother had made to 190, but that she always hung up before speaking. "This shows intention," Dr. Beatrice explained. "It shows that you wanted to ask for help but were afraid." She went to the school where my mother worked, talked to the director, with fellow teachers. They all confirmed that you've changed in the last few months, that you've lost weight, that I've seen Via with brands. That was missing a lot. And she went after Carla. I don't know how she convinced my cousin, but she convinced. Carla agreed to witness. "She's brave," Dr. Beatrice said, "and the family will turn her back on her, but she wants to do the right one." The audience was scheduled for 2 weeks later. Provisional guard. My mother barely slept, barely ate. She lived repeating the facts on her head, preparing what I was going to say. "What if I forget anything?" she asked me nervously. "You won't forget, Mom." "And what if the judge doesn't believe me?" "He will believe it. We have proof." But inside, I was also terrified. On the day of the audience, I woke up early. My mother was in the bathroom, vomiting nervously. I held her hair. "Breathe, Mother." She breathed. "Tremendous." We got ready. My mother put on a simple but beautiful outfit, hair stuck, little makeup. "I don't want to look like I'm hiding anything," she said. Dr. Beatrice passed to pick us up. On the way, she explained what it would be like. "His lawyer will try to destabilize you. You will ask aggressive questions. You will try to make you look crazy, lying, or bad mother. And what do? Breathe. Look at me if you need it, and tell the truth. Always the truth." When we arrived at the forum, my father was already there, of suit, well tidy, next to Dr. Antonio. And there were more people. My grandmother, my uncles, neighbors, people I didn't even know who it was, all there to support him. My mother had only us, me, Dr. Beatrice, and Donna Marta, who made a point of going. We entered the audience room. The judge was a man of 60 years, serious, looked tired. He looked at my mother, then to my father. "Let's start." Dr. Antonio was the first to speak. He was good, very good. He painted my father like a dedicated working man who just wanted the best for the family. "My client is a mechanic. He sustains the house, pay all the bills. He was always present. He was always a father. And suddenly, out of nowhere, his wife runs in the middle of the night. He takes his daughter, without warning, without explanation." He paused. He looked at the judge. "She claims violence. But where are the tests? Where are the records? Why in 10 years of marriage has she never denounced?" Dr. Beatrice got up. "Because she was afraid. Because he threatened to take her daughter. Because he manipulated her psychologically for years." "Did you manipulate?" Dr. Antonio laughed. "Or is she manipulating?" The judge hit the hammer. "Order. Let's hear the author part." My mother was called. She got up. The legs trembled so much that I thought she was going to fall. But she went, sat in the chair. The judge looked at her. "Can you tell what happened?" And my mother told, all, with a tremendous but firm voice. She told the punches, of the push, of humiliations. She told her when he threw food on her because the seasoning was wrong. She told her when he locked her in the room for 2 days, because she had left without warning. She told her when he threatened to kill her if she spoke to someone. The room was silent. Dr. Antonio got up. "Do you have proof of all this?" "I have pictures. The bruises. Photos can be counterfeit. I have medical reports that do not mention my client's name, because I was afraid to put, or because you are inventing all this." My mother took a deep breath. "I'm not inventing." So why have you never denounced before?" "Because he said he was going to take my daughter out of me, that he had money, that he had a lawyer, that no one would believe me. And now, conveniently, after fleeing in the middle of the night, do you appear with these accusations?" "I ran away because I found out that you were planning to intern me." Silence. Dr. Antonio blinked. "How it is?" Dr. Beatrice got up. "Very merit. I would like to present tests." She delivered papers to the judge. WhatsApp group prints. Conversations between my father, my grandmother, my uncles. The judge read. The face closed. "What is that?" Conversations where the family plans to intern my client, falsely claiming that she is crazy, all to keep the child's guard and goods. Dr. Antonio tried to speak. This was taken from context. Context? Dr. Beatrice cut. It is written textually. Internal her, so we solve everything. The judge looked at my father. Do you have something to say? My father opened his mouth, closed. I didn't know what to say. That's when Dr. Beatrice threw the bomb. Very merit. I would also like to present evidence of adultery. She delivered more papers, photos, my father with the other woman, documents from the apartment he had bought for her. The judge looked serious. Do you have an extramarital relationship? My father stammered. It's complicated. Yes or no? Silence. Yes. The room exploded. My grandmother got up. This has nothing to do. He is a good father. The judge hit the hammer. You sit. Now. She sat furiously. Dr. Beatrice continued. Very merit. I would like to call a wit NHA. Carla Ferreira, 15, niece of the defendant. Carla entered. She was pale, nervous, but firm. She sat down. Dr. Beatrice asked, Carla, have you ever seen your uncle beat your aunt? Not directly. But did you hear? Yes. What did you hear? Carla took a deep breath. I heard him threatening to kill her. I heard him cursing her. I saw the marks on her body. Dr. Antonio got up. Object. This is a minor testimony. Smaller than under oath, the judge said. Continue. Carla looked at me, then to my mother. My aunt is a good mother. She's just trying to protect herself and protect my cousin. When she finished, she left, and I saw my grandmother looking at her with hatred, Uncle Marcelo shaking his head, disappointed. Carla had lost her family, for us. The judge asked for a break, 15 minutes. We left the room. My mother was shaking. Did I do everything right? She asked. Maid, Dr. Beatrice said. You were perfect. When we came back, the judge gave the decision. Analyzing the evidence presented, as well as the testimonies, I define the provisional guard to the mother. The father will be entitled to supervised visits once a week, upon monitoring of social worker. The protective measure is still in force. If there is non-compliance, there will be pretrial detention. My mother collapsed. Cry, relieved. I hugged her. Strong. We had won. But when I looked at my father, I saw the hatred, the anger. He looked at my mother and whispered, only moving his lips, "This is not over." He was right. It was not over. In the following months, my father tried everything. He came up with appeal. It was denied. He tried to prove that my mother was unable, failed. He spread lies in the neighborhood. He said my mother had kidnapped me, that she was crazy, that she had invented everything. Some people believed, but most do not. Because gradually other women started talking. Dona Celia from the corner said she always suspected. I saw my mother with brands, but never had the courage to ask. The school principal said she had offered help, but my mother always denied. Even Uncle Paulino's wife, Kelly, appeared, 7 months pregnant. She sought my mother in the shelter. "I need to apologize to you," she said, crying. "I knew. I always knew. And I never did anything." My mother hugged her. "It was not your fault." It was yes. I was silent, for fear of causing family problem. But when I saw you having the courage, I realized, if I keep silent now, one day it may be me. Kelly witnessed. She said she had seen my father hitting my mother, who had heard the threats, that my grandmother knew everything and pretended I didn't see. With this new testimony, the case became even stronger. My father lost the right to supervised visits, lost the right to approach, and lost the house, because my mother filed a divorce request, and won. The house where we lived was for her, half of the goods too. And he stayed with his mistress, in the apartment he had bought for her. But the relationship did not last. 3 months later, she dropped him, because he found he was bankrupt. Who had spent everything? That had nothing more. And my grandmother? My grandmother tried to file a call for her granddaughter. It was denied. The judge said she had been complicit. That had manipulated. Who had put his son above the safety of the granddaughter? She cried at the audience. But no one had a pity. Uncle Marcelo moved away from his family. He and Aunt Chusara separated because of Carla. She wanted to defend Carla. He wanted to defend his brother. In the end, she chose her daughter. And Carla? Carla came to live with us. My mother got her guard. Aunt Chusara agreed. "She'll be safer with you," she said. And it was the best thing that happened. Carla became my sister, my best friend. She taught me to be strong, not being afraid to speak. And my mother taught her to be loved. In truth, 6 months after leaving the shelter, we came home. Our home. My mother had painted everything, changed the furniture, changed the decoration. "This place is now ours, only ours," she said, smiling. It was the first time in months I saw her really smile, without fear, without sadness, only relief. I helped her tidy up my room. I put posters on the wall. I organized my books. Carla chose the guest room. He painted purple, filled with plants. And at night, the three we sat in the room, eating pizza, watching movie, like a family. A real family. In the following years, my mother flourished. She smiled again. singing, dancing. She taught again with passion. The students loved her. She did therapy, processed the wounds. He learned to forgive himself. I spent so much time blaming myself, she told me one night, thinking I had done something wrong, that I deserved that. You never deserved, Mom. I know. Now I know. She also dated again. It took time. It took years. But when it happened, it was beautiful. She met Marcelo, not my uncle, another Marcelo, history teacher, kind, patient, funny. He treated her like a queen, and he treated Carla and me like daughters. They got married when I was 16. It was a small party, just close friends. Donna Marta, Dr. Beatrice, Kelly and her son. I was bridesmaid, Carla too, and when I saw my mother coming in, wearing a white dress, smiling, crying with happiness, I knew she had won. He had survived, and he had been reborn. My father tried to show up at the wedding. He stayed outside, looking. Marcelo saw it. I was going to call the police, but my mother asked me not to. Let him look. Let him see what he lost. And he looked. He saw my mother happy. He saw her being truly loved. And he left. He never came back. Today, 12 years later, I am 22 years old. I'm a law student. I want to be a lawyer, just like Dr. Beatrice. I want to help women like my mother. Carla is a psychologist, works with children who are victims of domestic violence. And my mother is a pedagogical coordinator, happy, carried out. She and Marcelo live in the same house where everything happened. But it doesn't look like the same house. It feels like home, full of light, laughing, of love. Sometimes when I visit, we sit on the porch, drinking tea, and my mother looks at me. Thanks. Why, Mom? For staying by my side, even though I was so little, even though I was so scared. I will always stay by your side. She smiles. Hold my hand. I know. I think about that day a lot, the day Carla gave me the note. Call 911. I never called, but I did something better. I stayed. I testified. I supported. And when it was time, I used my voice. I used my hands. I used everything I had to help my mother get out of that hell. And today, when I see women going through what she went through, I don't stay silent. I don't pretend I don't see. I speak. I offer help. I give my number, Dr. Beatrice's number, the address of the shelter, because I learned something on that Feijoada Sunday when Carla handed me that crumpled paper that sometimes all a person needs. It's from someone who believes in her, someone who sees, someone who doesn't turn their back. And I will never turn around. Never. My mother taught me this. She taught me that strength is not about never falling. It's getting up even when everyone says you won't make it. It's looking in the mirror, with your face scarred, your body hurting, your soul torn apart, and decide to continue, decide to fight, decide to live. Today, when I look at my mother, I no longer see the broken woman I saw that Sunday. I see a warrior. I see a survivor. I see my heroine. And I'm proud, very proud, of being her daughter. If you're reading this, if you're going through something similar, or if you know someone who is, please, don't be silent. Don't be silent. Report. Call 180. Pro 190. Seek help. You are not alone. And you deserve to live. You deserve to be happy. It deserves to start over, just like my mother, just like me, just like all of us who survived. And if one day you feel weak, remember, you were strong once. When he woke up, even though he didn't feel like it. When he smiled even in pain. When you held your son's hand and said, "It's going to be okay," even though you didn't believe it. You were once strong, and you can be again. I believe in you. My mother believes, and God believes. Don't give up. Please, don't give up. Nati, and you? Have you ever been through something similar? Do you know someone who experienced this? Leave it here in the comments. Let's create a support network. Together, we are stronger. If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and share it with those who need to hear it, because history saves, word healing, and courage inspires. Until next time.